I am Thomas the Retro Nerd, reviewing the games good or bad. As we are aware, there's a new Mario movie in theaters, so I thought it would be an appropriate mood to play some classic Mario. You know, even though I have tons of fun playing the classic Mario games, I didn't grow up with these versions. These games were made before I was born. I was born in 1995, so I mostly grew up with the Nintendo 64, the Game Boy Color, and the Game Boy Advance. Thankfully, in the term of the new millennium, Nintendo decided to bring the classic Mario series for a whole new audience. For today's review, I'm going to review the classic Mario games I grew up with, the Super Mario Advance series. Okay, before we start, we gotta talk about Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, a port of the first Super Mario Bros. On the Game Boy Color. The Game Boy Color may be my first portable console, but I wasn't aware of this game. Though years later, I got curious on how they improve on the original. Plot-wise, the game is the same as the original, so what did they improve? The graphics are nearly a perfect transition of the original with some added animation. Water and lava has some motion rather than being stiff. The toads bounce up and down after being rescued, which is better than its avatar sprite. They knew what it looks like.
I'm giving you both middle fingers!
There's also an added map screen to each world, and you can switch to Luigi on the map with the press of the select button. All of these additions do improve from the original, but there is one fatal flaw. Screen crunch. Just imagine playing the original game while shoving your face to the screen. It makes it harder to see where enemies are gonna pop on screen. 7-3 is the worst offense with the flying cheat sheets. Ah, like that! Come on, that's not fair! I can't even see that! Thankfully, Nintendo knew about this issue and tries to compensate it. Pressing select can push the screen to the side so you can see what's coming. Also, pressing up and down on the D-pad can help you view where you're gonna land on platforms below. The flaws may frustrate me, but I managed to beat the game anyway, unlike Sonic Genesis. The other additions are a challenge mode to find red coins, a Yoshi egg, and beating the high score. I dig it. A versus mode where you need another player to join. The Boo icon is basically a one-player version of the versus mode, an obstacle course race to the finish. Other miscellaneous stuff for the Game Boy printer, and a Luigi icon after you get a high score. Super Mario Bros. For Super Players. What is this? It's a port of Mario 2 The Lost Levels!
You gotta be fucking joking with me!
As you are aware, I don't like Mario 2 The Lost Levels. Every time I go back to this game, it feels like it gets even worse. As you see from the footage, you may think I finally have the Famicom Disk System version, right?
Wrong!
It's a reproduced copy I got on eBay for about 30 bucks. I played it recently, I was so close, I was at the penultimate level of World 8, and the level is so much like garbage, it drunk up all my lives like a bottomless Slurpee. If you think this game is bad enough, then how about playing with the GBC's ridiculous screen crunch? It sort of makes this version virtually unplayable. In the end, Super Mario Bros. Deluxe is a good port of the original game. I do recommend you give it a try. Now on to the featured presentation. In June 2001, Nintendo introduced the Game Boy Advance in North America, the successor to the Game Boy Color, and the final member of the Game Boy family. I had so many memories with the Game Boy Advance, been introduced to many good games on here, along with some weird ones. I got mine in 2002 as a gift from my Uncle John, and one of the first games I got for the system was Disaster Strikes. Okay, I also got Super Mario Advance. This is the same copy I had after all these years. I had so many memories while playing it. After the success of Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, Nintendo decided to remake Super Mario Bros. 2 USA from scratch. The game became a launch title for the console to show off its capabilities. It shows right at the opening cutscene, showing the original ratio of the original Game Boy until revealing the new wider ratio. So nostalgic. Let me get this out of the way so you won't suffer from repetition. Every installment of Super Mario Advance shares the exact same plot and gameplay as their original counterparts. I'm just gonna talk about what's different. Graphic-wise, it's heavily recycled from the All-Stars pack. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. The GBA version added some new obstacles, new enemies, and even a new collectible. There are 5 ace coins scattered throughout each level. Collecting all 5 grants you an extra life. I do like the new character select screen in the GBA version. There's also added voice clips, which is neat.
Just what I needed. Oh, mamma mia.
Even the bosses have some voice clips provided by Charles Martinet himself.
Yeah. get toasted. I'm too hot to touch. You'll make a tasty treat.
With an addition of Jen Taylor, who was the voice of Princess Peach and Toad at the time, also doing Birdo in this game.
Far as you go.
Exclusive to the GBA version, the World 3 boss is Roberto, a giant robotic Birdo that shoots giant eggs at you. Very creative. Collecting all the ace coins in the game unlocks a Yoshi challenge. Hidden at some points in the subspace area is a Yoshi egg located. Yet I don't care at this point. Nevertheless, this is a great remake. Fairly, this is like the definitive way to play Mario 2 USA. I recommend it. So Nintendo got a big hit with this remake, so when they went to work on Super Mario Advance 2, they decided on Super Mario World? I just don't get it. They jumped from Mario 2 USA to Super Mario World? I guess that Nintendo was desert dry thirsty to show off the capabilities of the Game Boy Advance, so they wanted to do it with the Super Nintendo launch title. The game is proudly the same as its home console counterpart from the levels, the power-ups, and of course, our Yoshi. The graphics have been improved from the original, like Yoshi having orange arms in the original? Come on. I already joked about Bowser being green.
Why is Bowser green in this game?
Glad that was also fixed. Also, by pressing L on the overworld, you can switch to Luigi. He still has his high jump like in Mario 2 USA, so he controls different than his palette swap take on the SNES. There are some minor changes to the level design, though in the end, it's still the same game we love. That is for the Dragon Coins. Now, this change does not color my opinion of the game. However, this is very annoying. There are 5 Dragon Coins in each level. To find them, you have to search through every nook and cranny of the levels to find them. Collecting all of them grants you an extra life. Though if you hit a checkpoint and die, the coins you collected are lost and you have to get them again. However, if you don't find all the coins and clear the level anyway, all the coins you got are reset and you have to get them again. Granted, this is optional in the original version, but with the GBA version, they decided to add this checklist just to drive a completionist knocking butts. Come on! This is a remake! You're supposed to fix bullshit, not create more bullshit! What makes it worse, the GBA version even added dragon coins in the ghost houses and castles!
Seriously, why would they do that?
There is no point of getting all the dragon coins except for bragging rights. Despite that, this is the same game we all know from the SNES. I don't want to spend too much time on Super Mario Advance 3, mainly because I want to give the base game, Yoshi's Island, a proper review. Then again, the game has more advanced graphics and animation put in, and it works for the Game Boy Advance. I don't count the opening cutscene since that was from the original game. As usual, you'll also get some exclusive levels after beating the game, saving that as well. I loved this game back then, and playing it again brings back memories. It's sad that I lost my copy during the sands of time, though thankfully I can re-experience it thanks to the Wii U Virtual Console. Now it's time to answer the question. For the first 3 Mario Advance games, why do these games look like the colors are washed out? Some people keep forgetting it. The original Game Boy Advance doesn't have a built-in backlight, so the games are brightened up like this to compensate it. Then we get Super Mario Advance 4 in 2003.
I can guess the concept of this game. Oh shit, we forgot to remake Mario 3! And this is what we got.
The last installment of the Mario Advance series was released in 2003, though I got mine in 2007. Yes, I still got GBA games in 2007. As my introduction to one of my favorite games on the NES, it's great. However, I wouldn't consider it the best, even though some people can go crazy over it. One of them, like Bob Chipman, aka Movie Bob, aka Movie Blob, aka Cinema Robert, wrote a whole book about this game. And this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever read. By the way, I don't own this book. This was lent to me by my coworker Lewis, check out his channel. Still the most ridiculous thing, much like the guy who wrote it.
You are soapboxing.
No, I'm overthinking.
Same thing!
Anyway, back to Mario Advance 4. It's a good remake. Same as the original with the added opening cutscene, added music. You can have a chance to play as both Mario and Luigi. And the game is compatible with the Game Boy Player adapter for the GameCube. That's how I've been playing these games for recording. Player 1 can play as Mario, and Player 2 can play as Luigi, like on the NES game. It's awesome, though there is one thing to talk about. Super Mario Advance 4 is one of the few games that is compatible with the ill-fated e-reader accessory. Never heard of it? Neither have I! This thing was made to scan extra content into games. Kinda like DLC before it was a thing that took over the industry. However, I refuse to get one myself for the sake of this review. Because the way this thing works is you need 2 GBAs, one with the e-reader and one with the game you're using, then plug in a link cable between the 2 GBAs, and then you scan the cards to get the extra content.
What?
That's gotta be a headache. This concept was so convoluted and expensive, the e-reader was canceled in North America in 2004 due to poor sales. It's a shame. The e-reader levels in Mario Advance 4 are great, adding all the bells and whistles from the Mario series at this point. Only problem, only 10 levels were released in North America back then. What happened to the other 24? Only in Japan, only in Japan, only in motherfucking Japan. Again, with the Wii U Virtual Console, still hate you Nintendo for doing this, and recently with the Nintendo Switch Online, all the levels are available upon release. Thank goodness.
The Mario Advance series was my introduction to the classic Mario series, and I had fond memories with these games. I love these growing up. However, these series of games introduced me to one certain game, and no, I did not forget about it. What? Rocco, are you going to be my elephant in the room every time you walk in? So you know why I'm here, right? No shit, Sherlock.
Each installment of the Mario Advance series also includes a remake of the classic arcade game, Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers.
And since I had some extra time, I decided to review this game. And yes! Download complete! What did you do? Oh, I downloaded the arcade version for you to review. Why would you do that? What are you complaining about? I only have 3 gigabytes of memory left. I am scared of going over my limit. I don't want to download any more games. I even took the time to get you a new SD card to boost up your hard drive. You're welcome. Oh, well then, I'll take that.
Mario Brothers started as an arcade game back in 1983. Somehow I learned that Mr. Miyamoto was inspired by Joust to make this game. Thanks Ryan for the information. In this game, it's established that Mario is an Italian plumber from Brooklyn and he has to flush the pipes from turtles, crabs, and even fireflies. Occasionally, fireballs will spawn if you took too long to clear one of the phases. Yeah, phases, not levels. And yes, this is Luigi's first Nintendo game.
Mario, where are you?
By the way, the controls are fucking stiff. I can't control my jumps in midair. I'd either jump straight up or jump on top of an enemy when I die. Well, conveniently, you also have a power block, but that's not gonna make things easier. I know it's an arcade game, but it can't be this hard. It doesn't make it better on the NES. Still sad that kids had their parents to pay $50 back then. I got my NES copy for $10, and I kinda knew the problems with this game. So how about the GBA version? It's 10 times better! It has better controls, making it easier to beat the enemies. The turtles are replaced by spinies, giving you the better clue to not jump on them. It has well-designed backgrounds, and it even has music playing through the game. It's also good music. There's no question about it. This is the best remake I've ever played.
So many memories. Looking back at the Mario Advance series is kind of like a nostalgia trip for me. So, if you are interested in taking a look at some classic Mario games, I would recommend the originals, but I would say give the remakes a chance if you have the time. Now, before I wrap this up, I think a lot of you are interested in my thoughts on the latest Super Mario Bros. Movie. I did see it currently in theaters, and let me tell you what my thoughts are for the 2023 version of the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's great.
Granted, the movie had a simple plot like in the game, all the characters we know and love, and some amazing action sequences. At the time of this video gets posted, I'm not sure if this movie is still currently in theaters, but I'm just so glad that it made bank. Though if it is still currently in theaters,
I don't want to spoil too many of the Easter eggs that are in this movie, like but what are the odds of that?
I would definitely recommend this movie to you guys. Though I still have love for the 1993 live-action film. I know that this movie is more of a Blade Runner vibe because the directors never played the games while making it, which is stupid. Yet it still became a cult classic, and as a huge Mario fan, I consider this a guilty pleasure.
See you later, alligator!
Well, that's all I have to say right here. I'm Thomas the Retro Nerd. Thank you all for watching. See you guys in the next review. Such a goofball! Man, this controller is thick as a brick. It's tough. Way to go, Nintendo.